Gamers, this is a huge meme build. I mean, you destroy champions. Strand literally breaks every single champion. I don't even have to use champion mods. I just throw them up in the air, wave at them, shoot them a little bit, throw another nade, throw this, throw that. Necrotic grips with Osteo Striga is amazing. Check this Warlock build out. I'm just gonna shut up now. Go watch it. Gamers, may I present to you the toxic champion memeing necrotic spreading juicer magooser loadout here. I mean, I just had fun in this lost sector. I was memeing champions, literally didn't have to use any mods, just kept suspending them in the air. And while I'm shooting them, while they're suspended by the strand, I'm recharging my abilities. It's a fun memey ad clearing loadout, which I think you could use in raids. This is going to meme GMs, honestly, because you really don't need weapons to do a lot of damage in GMs. So I hope you enjoy this build. If you're wanting to know what I'm using, here's all the stuff. Shader was pretty juicy for this. I wanted to go with green in the helmet, wanted like a toxic feel. So let's get into the build. So the reason why I'm using Osteo Striga with necrotic grip is because it pairs with it. It's going to spread more toxic everywhere, and also with the strand subclass itself, it's going to cause more spreading of strand. And it's just absolutely amazing how the ad clear is. A lot of this build that I'm getting ready to go over is going to be preference. You can switch out some mods, you can switch out artifact mods, kind of whatever you want. So let's go over the artifact mods first. Pretty much what I'm taking advantage of is the threaded blast and the untangler. The reason why you're using these two mods together is because when you destroy a tangle with strand weapon, it suspends the target's damage by the explosion. So when you destroy a tangle with that weapon, not only is it going to suspend champions, but it's also going to suspend anything in that vicinity. And threaded blast, it's going to make the larger, more explosion. So you might get some kills on the shot, and you also might suspend more enemies around the champions. And that's the whole purpose of this build, is to suspend champions and adds so you can shoot them and get your abilities back. Also, we're using counterweave when myself or my fire team stuns a champion or defeats one. You gain energy for your least charged strand ability. Allied unraveling, when you're using this machine gun that I'm using or any strand weapon of your choice, you can also proc unraveling rounds. I really didn't get this to proc a lot unless I was using the machine gun for ad clear, but it's still a cool mod. I do have a void weapon on from Bricks of Beyond, so when I defeat a powerful combatant with my void weapon, it has a chance to generate heavy ammo as well. Since I'm using a void weapon, volatile flow, picking up orbs grant my void weapon volatile rounds, and I can take advantage of that for more ad clear. And also the Defiant Armory, I wasn't using this in my run, but I did just unlock it. Greatly improves the benefits provided by the nano rocket tech. So with using all those mods from the artifact, I suggest use this machine gun with target lock or hatchling. Target lock is going to help you a little more, but I was a dummy and I deleted it, so I had to use this one. I'll go over the reason why I'm running these three weapons after I explain the subclass itself. The Broodweaver, we're going to be going with fragments of threat of warding. Picking up an orb of power grants woven mail. A lot of people don't understand, but woven mail is 60% damage resist, so taking advantage of this is definitely a must in this build. You could swap this out for something else if you want more abilities or you want to do like tangled builds, but again, I chose this and I tested it out. Then we're going to go to threat of generation. This is where your abilities come back and why I'm using the weapons I chose. So when you're doing damage off anything, you get grenade energy. So when enemies are suspended in the air and you're shooting them, you're recharging your grenade. Threat of continuity, when you suspend, unravel, and sever, it's increased duration. And also threat of fury. Damaging target with a tangle grants melee energy. So if you're not shooting the tangle for an explosion to cause enemies to get suspended, you should throw the tangle at the enemies to get your melee back. Since you have 3 melees, this is kind of huge because I was throwing a tangle at a group of enemies and I was getting a full melee charge, sometimes even more back. The aspects are obviously the only 2 aspects that are in the game, but when you cast your riff, 3 threadings deploy, and you're going to use that with your necrotic and your osteo to try and attack enemies more. This is where it gets juicy. I would choose shackle grenade like I was using to meme champions because it's funny not using any champion mods and just suspending champions in the air. So when I consume my shackle grenade, it activates Weaver's Trace. Final blows while Weaver's Trace is active creates a suspending detonation. So if you're seeing a lot of enemies in the room and no champions and you want to get nasty with your necrotic and your osteo, just eat the grenade, throw your rift, throw your melees out, spread toxin, and watch everything suspend in the air. The reason why I didn't use it as much is because I had a lot of champions, and also I want to point out in this lost sector I was under leveled, so I wanted to make sure that I was suspending the champions. So now we're going to go over the weapons. Obviously we're using Osteo with Necrotic to spread the toxin and take advantage of just absolutely deleting the room. I chose Null Composure here. I know people are going to choose different void weapons like a grenade launcher or maybe a double primary or a trace rifle. I just figured if something was suspended in the air, I had volatile flow procced. I chose to use the machine gun because using the artifact mods in this build is taking advantage of spreading the suspension, and when you shoot a tangle with a strand weapon, it explodes the room or suspend enemies in the air. Again, I would recommend getting hatchling or getting target lock, because if you target lock on those champions and just hit those crits, you're going to be able to do more damage. Every mod I'm getting ready to show you on my armor is definitely what I was running, but you can swap them out as you please. I was running double kinetic siphon because I'm using Osteo pretty much the whole time, so I want to make most orbs as I possibly can so I can get armor charges and get woven mail. On the gauntlets, I chose double momentum transfer because when I cause damage with my grenade, it reduces my melee cooldown, and all I have to do is shoot enemies to get my grenade back with this build. Focusing strike grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a melee attack, so I just wanted it all to synergize. Perks of the fragment in the subclass give you grenades. Focusing strike gives you class ability. Momentum transfer gives you melee. On your chest piece, I don't even know why I had harmonic resistance on. I was just using it, but we're going to take that off. With these chest pieces, it's kind of tough to choose what you want here. You can go with charged up to get more armor charges, go for endurance. It's kind of up to you, but since I knew that this lost sector was solar, I did solar resistance. So I think it's good to just leave these two mods for whatever activity you're doing and what damage resist mods you would like to put on. On the boots, since I don't have really good stats on this build, I had to use resilience mod here, so I couldn't take advantage of the triple kinetic surge. Now the reason why I'm running kinetic surge is I want my Osteo buffed when I have armor charges, so I chose to run these. Again, you could just switch them out for whatever weapon you want buffed, totally up to you. And lastly, we're going to the class item. This was where I flipped this mod around so many times. I chose double empowered finish because if I suspend a champion or get an enemy weak, if I hit a finisher, I'm automatically charged with an armor charge ×2, and I can take advantage of more damage from my weapons. Also, using outreach reduces melee cooldown when you use your class ability, because refilling the 3 melee charges is kind of tough. Other than that, I just wanted to give you a final demonstration of the whole build here in the brand new UI for our loadouts that we love. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this build, and I'll be moving on to the Hunter next. So don't forget to watch the Solar Warlock, this video, the Titan videos, all the videos. Give this video a thumbs up and sub to the YouTube. I love you guys. Peace.